So let's start with this one. We're talking about Ryan Garcia. I feel like I'm gonna have to go full Ali vibes when he had to chase down Sonny Liston to make him fight. This man is terrified deep down, and I'm talking about you, Gervonta. I know you see my tweet saying nothing or something won't save you from this whooping. It'd be interesting to see Ryan Garcia, that twink-looking motherfucker, try to go Ali, but but let's move on to another tweet that he put out that I've actually found a little bit more interesting. I think he's trying to justify the reason why he's going after Gervonta Davis by suggesting that Gervonta Davis supposedly said something about his parents. But let's just check that out. Yeah, so this is what he supposedly is alluding to, forgive me. He says, the moment Gervonta called my parents retarded looking, my eyes fixed on making those words cost him. Yeah, it was years ago. Some things you don't forget. You will eat that disrespect. Funny thing is, I think that it's not a case of Gervonta Davis supposedly suggesting that Ryan Garcia's parents look retarded. I'm not sure whether Gervonta said that, but I think it's kind of retarded for Ryan Garcia to repeat those words in public about something that Gervonta Davis supposedly said years ago, if it did happen at all, because he could be embellishing the story, or could be talking about something else. He could just be lying, because as the previous tweet suggested, he's gonna have to try and do everything he can, like Ali versus Sonny Liston and stuff like that, to try and get that fight. So this might be part of that ploy, part of the ploy, to try and get Gervonta Davis to fight him. But even if that's the case, I think you're kind of reaching to the bottom of the barrel there to suggest that Gervonta Davis supposedly said that your parents are retarded looking. Why is it that we're just hearing about it now? We're just hearing about it now, and you didn't forget about it. That's supposed to be your motivation. You've never spoken about this before. In fact, you didn't talk about it when you were with Mike Tyson. You didn't say any of that. Now suddenly it's the thing that burns the most, and you've been keeping it with you for years and stuff. And even if that's the case, I don't think you should repeat it in the actual. I mean, maybe you're paraphrasing, or maybe you're speaking verbatim. But I wouldn't repeat those words. I wouldn't suggest that somebody said my parents are retarded looking. You know what I mean? Because it makes people want to go look at your parents. They're like, okay, are they retarded? Does Gervonta Davis have a point? Does he have a point there by suggesting that your parents are retarded looking? You know what I'm saying? Are they two retarded parents who had a good looking kid, supposedly good looking kid? And you're starting to look a little bit retarded in my eyes anyway. The way he forms his mouth when he's talking. You know what I mean? He's starting to look a bit weird to me. But that's by the by. That's just me. But what I'm suggesting is that there might be something else he's trying to tap into here, because people who like Ryan Garcia are obviously going to see that there's a sense of irony in regards to the people that deal with people like Ryan Garcia and the way they view black people and their parents. Well, Ryan Garcia, he said your parents look retarded. Well, what about his mama? What about his daddy? Does he even have a daddy? That's more or less what I feel the subtle jab is. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to appeal to a different group of people who have different motivation to support him, for supporting him. You know what I mean? But I don't know whether it's true or not. It is what it is. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't particularly care. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably one of the very few people who doesn't give a flying fuck if this fight happens or not. I really don't care. In regards to the tweets that Ryan Garcia put out about what Gervonta Davis supposedly said about his parents looking retarded, he says the following. He said he misquoted. Isn't that convenient? Say, I may have misquoted what he said. It was a long time ago. But you know what he meant by saying my parents are cousins. I'm sorry. If you choose to not read between the lines, then you don't want to see the truth and intent of Gervonta. I don't care. I know last tweet of the night. I don't know. He's just looking for a way to sort of gin things up. You see, now he's changing the quote now. Looking retarded. They look like cousins. It is what it is. But one more thing. Let's see what is written underneath there. Now, Gervonta Davis supposedly responded to him. So let's read that first, basically. What does it say there? It says, because he retarded, his parents are cousins. Oh, is that from 2018? He said like Gervonta Davis is retarded. His parents are cousins. Okay, so that's what Gervonta said. He didn't say his parents look retarded. He said that that Ryan Garcia is retarded because his parents are cousins. Okay, so now I'm getting to the root of the matter. Now I'm beginning to understand better. Let's see. Alright, so these are the tweets leading up to what he said about being misquoting what he supposedly said. He said you had to go find and dig it out. It says, just so you have a reference, I'm beating your ass. 2018 going to cost your consciousness. You will go to sleep for over 1 minute, wake up, and then you'll say how sorry you are for those. Oh, shut up. Seriously. Anyway, man. It's a shame actually, because after it all, you know that Ryan Garcia might just punk out anyway. He might just talk all this good talk and then punk out eventually, or it just might not happen. So I don't really care. Alycia Baumgartner isn't playing with Michaela Mayer. This is a post, and look at how she's look at how she's reposted this poster of the fight. She's put a clown face on Michaela Mayer where she's standing there looking like Alycia Baumgartner. And then she writes 9/10. That's the date, I suppose. But I mean, you could also make it seem like that's the score of a fight of some sort. But that being said, I think she's very clever, and I think I think Michaela Mayer's found the right one this time, because she loves to bully people on social media. You know what I mean? She was doing the most with Terry Harper. And now I think she's found the right one this time. You know what I'm saying? And after a while, initially I wanted to be like, I wanted to be fair to Michaela, but I can't stand her, man. She sounds fucking retarded. She sounds privileged as fuck. She makes it seem as if she's a bigger deal than what she really is. I can't stand her. Anyway, it is what it is. But listen, I expect Alycia Baumgartner to win, but you never know with boxing. The interview that she did recently with a YouTube guy, with a guy on YouTube, the one that deals with female boxing, was actually very interesting. I mean, the little excerpt that they cut out and they reposted, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Talks a good game. Let's hope she can back it up. I'm guessing she will. The way she looks, though, she looks like she can handle herself. And the way she talks about boxing, especially the way she evaluated the fight between Michaela Mayer and what's her name? Maeva Amadouche, that was actually quite correct. And the way she's exaggerating a bit, of course. There's a slight element of caricature when she talks about the way Michaela Mayer fights. But you could also, it applies. And she says she's much better. She's much more well-rounded and has a better grasp of the fundamentals. So we're looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to that fight more than I'm looking forward to Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields is doing a lot of talking too, which suggests to me that she might be a bit nervous, to be honest with you. I mean, there's just a wee bit. I think in the case of Claressa Shields, it's not like Alycia Baumgartner. For her, it just seems like that she's not too comfortable. She's trying very, very hard to do that what those Americans do, which is to talk gang of shit and put it out there and try to get, I don't know, maybe she's trying to get in somebody's head and stuff like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like when that Gypsy King guy does it. So, because there's shit talking and it's just been all over. And there's another thing where you just seem all over the place and you're trying to over elaborate your accomplishments and achievements, and people have to sort of say well indeed, in fact it's kind of like I suppose technically it applies, but it's not necessarily impressive. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with Claressa Shields. Technically you're the multiple weight champion, you're undisputed the 154, but technically that's the case, but in actuality, in reality, it's not the same. It's not the same as Jermell Charlo. Regardless of what they say about Adrian Broner, it's actually good to see him back in the gym and doing what he does. I find him quite intriguing. Obviously, he can be quite infuriating and you can argue whether he's a wasted talent or not. So, but I feel, despite it all, he's always going to have a cult following of some sort. I mean, look how big his belly is in this thing. Anyway, let's listen to some of it. It's just goofing about. I don't know the guy he's with, but it's supposedly funny to all the people that are standing around there.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't hear you say. Hey, quit walking up on me. You know when I put my hands on me, I'm defending myself. Hey, I'm defending myself. Hey, I gotta defend you. No, I ain't gonna tell you. Hey, I'm telling you, I got no gloves on. I ain't gonna miss GT. I ain't gonna.
You guys called GT the Great?
I ain't gonna miss it. Why stop me? Yeah. Hey, man, what's up with you, bro? Hey, we going up with next time. For what, though? Or what? Hey. I'm about to drill you, baby, but back up. I'm about to. I see the overhands. Boom. Alright, I'm about to get dressed. I'm about to get dressed now. You gonna make me get dressed? You got your shit on. I know. There's new people here. Coach. Come on, man. Let's go. Come on.
Agent Brunner does seem to be carrying some weight, though. I gotta be honest here. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't want him to do.
And I got weight on me, tired.
Yeah, they talking about weight.
You gonna quit? Huh? You gonna quit or else?
Okay, enough of that. So Jamishi Beaver writes, getting better. Box sale. Let's see what that's about. Okay, more of Bivol in the gym again. Does very subtle little things that are quite effective, I suppose, for strength and conditioning. You know what I mean? Very professional in his approach. I like what, you can get new ideas, you know what I'm saying? Very practical, pragmatic exercises and stuff. Obviously, I like to do more strenuous stuff in the gym, but, I suppose for his profession and what he does, these are the type of things that work for him. So let another retweet. Oh my God! Rewatched tons of old Pretty Boy Floyd. He can't even spell boy properly. Pretty Butt Floyd footage. That dude, something else. Hey yo, Dan Raphael. It's like I told you several times. He would have fucked your boy up. Which boy is he talking about? I don't know. Is it Margarito? I mean, hey, listen, I don't know. They say this fight was boring, but in hindsight, when you look back at it, particularly the highlights, it's a very interesting boxing match, actually. I suppose a lot of people don't want to accept that, but I think, honestly, it's more or less basically what happened. A lot of people who found it boring is because Manny Pacquiao couldn't really dominate the fight the way they expected him to. They wanted him to carry on doing those kind of things there. You see, even when it was kind of weird for Manny Pacquiao as well. They say he was injured and stuff, but I doubt it. I think he didn't want to get knocked out. He didn't want to get knocked out. But it was a good fight for me anyway. I think it was brilliant. I think the people who like Manny Pacquiao saw what they wanted from Manny Pacquiao, and the people who like Floyd, they saw what they wanted from Floyd. It is what it is. Alright, so here we have Tess Crawford, and he's going to tell you, not necessarily explain to you, but tell you why he believes he's number one, pound for pound. Do you agree or not?
I actually know I'm number one. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I've been number one for years in my eyes. you know. And when you ask any
Self-belief.
diehard boxing fan, they'll say Terrence Crawford #1.
Not
I feel like
necessarily.
everything that I've done, you know, thus far have shown that, you know, stopping everybody in the welterweight division, never having a close fight, you know, dominating every opponent that I ever faced, you know, showing that I'm #1, you know, moving up weight divisions and conquering them one after another. You know, I feel like that, you know, go hand in hand with being #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Well, I actually know.
To be honest, I think he embellishes that a bit. Obviously, he's talking himself up. I don't think that he's been in a position where he's never had a close fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think the best person we can actually refer to when it comes to things like that, a person gets judged rather harshly should a person win 4 rounds or 3 rounds against his Floyd Mayweather, basically. You know what I'm saying? Then obviously you had a close fight. Somebody wins 3 rounds against Floyd, you had a close fight, he nearly lost. But in terms of Terrence Crawford, I don't think so. I think Terrence Crawford, the thing that they point out is the fact that they supposedly believe that he's chinny. He was supposedly knocked down and never got called. Well, that happened to Floyd too with Jazab Judah, so that's by the by. But in terms of never having a close fight, I'm not too sure about that. I think that the fight they had with Sean Porter, some would argue that was a lot closer than he would like to believe. Okay, before he got stopped, and some people believe that there was an element of corruption in the stoppage, but that's, you know, neither here nor there as far as I'm concerned. It is what it is. Aside from that, #1 pound for pound, no, I still believe, honestly, and this is just my assessment. I still believe that if I look at everything, regardless of whether I like it or not, I believe that Alexander Usyk is a superior fighter to Terrence Crawford. That's one. And has actually taken on bigger risks than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, though, you have to give him respect as well, because he also falls into that sort of Alexander Usyk category, because he's traveled abroad himself to go and fight, something that a lot of these American fighters do not do. He went to Scotland to fight Ricky Burns. I mean, you can say it's Ricky Burns, but it is what it is. He still fought the guy in his home territory in Scotland and defeated him. So you know, and a lot of people give Alexander Usyk the credit that he's supposedly a road warrior and stuff like that, but you know, he just doesn't have the, you know, he's still a good boxer. It is what it is. The crowd can't get in there with you to fight, and he's a superior boxer to a lot of these other boxers that are not necessarily that good. And when you're talking about the WBSS especially, a lot of people were on the road, so you know, just so happens that he came out on top. But I still believe, regardless, if I was just looking at the talent, the level of talent, I feel that Terrence Crawford is a very good fighter. I love his fight, and I think he's far superior to a lot of the American boxers specifically. But I don't think that globally he is #1 pound for pound. I don't think that I'm not even sure he's superior to Canelo Alvarez at this juncture. I don't think he's superior to Bivol. So, you know, it is what it is.